Hello there, my beautiful movie peeps, and a happy 1st of December for you. Y'all are always bagging on me to decorate the set for the Christmas season. I get a little lazy and don't do it, but this year, I got up in the morning and I decorated it for you. And now he's gonna do a side flick. This better be good enough for some of y'all, alright? But today what we're gonna be talking about here on Side Flick is we've got a couple of movie news stories that I found interesting. For one, we got the confirmation that Thanksgiving 2 is official. We got an update concerning the upcoming live-action Minecraft movie. Tom Holland giving us a couple of his thoughts concerning Spider-Man 4, and it looks like his mind might have been changed a little bit. Really, that alone with so much more, so you guys know the drill. Leave me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. And for funsies, tell me what's on your Christmas list this year. I'm actually curious to hear what my audience wants. And nobody says me opening up an OnlyFans, okay? Maybe next year. All right, so jumping into things, we've got a trailer that got released for the Mad Max prequel called Furiosa. This is one of the trailers that we were anticipating because Brazilian Comic-Con is happening at CCXP. Heck, it's said that this Sunday we will finally be getting the trailer for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. They have been releasing posters, so can't wait to do a breakdown of that trailer come Sunday for you guys. But for right now, we got the Furiosa trailer, and I've been very much looking forward to this movie. I love Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she's gonna nail it as a young Charlize Theron here in Furiosa. We got Chris Hemsworth thrown in here, and they're trying to make my nose look sexy and appealing for Hollywood. You're doing the Lord's work, Hemsworth. Thank you. And overall, looking at the trailer, I am sold. I think the story looks as big and grand and epic as Fury Road did. I really like what George Miller did with that last Mad Max entry and the world he's kind of recreated. So I am like 100% on board for this movie, but I want to be honest with you guys, and this has been the controversial thing with this trailer. When I saw this thing for the first time, and I recorded my reaction to the trailer, it's on TikTok, you can see it. At the end of my reaction, I was like, the visual effects are not really looking like the visual effects of the last movie. I know this is still George Miller, and they definitely have a lot of time before this movie's release, so they're still polishing things, but I noticed a kind of change in aesthetic from the last movie, and that's been a lot of what the internet has been talking about. Some people have gotten super defensive going, "You idiot clown head off, it's VFX, you don't know anything, stop talking bad about a movie you don't know." And then there are for sure other people taking it way to the extreme, calling this a Spy Kids movie, when I'm like, okay, no, the VFX look noticeably different, but I'm not gonna say Spy Kids level bad. Now, I know the original Fury Road had a lot of CGI in it, and a lot of it worked seamlessly for me. There were shots in that last Mad Max movie I had no idea were visual effects, and they just blend in so perfectly on screen. Here, it feels like a lot of it is sticking out. So overall, giving it a treasure. I'm just being honest that the effects look a little different. And don't be mad at me. That's just my opinion. Moving on from there, we got the confirmation yesterday that Thanksgiving, the horror movie that came out not even like 2-3 weeks ago, is officially getting a sequel. Eli Roth took to social media to let the fans know that Sony called him and said, yep, we're going to make another movie. In the video, he confirms that he's going to take all of 2024 to get the story right and then have the movie released around Thanksgiving of 2025. And there's a lot of angles to this story, and that's mainly because Spyglass is one of the main producers of the Thanksgiving film, and you know, Spyglass has been in the news lately for Scream fans being pretty pissed at them. And I am going to talk about that for a sec, but in a world where I can remove and pretend Spyglass doesn't exist and they didn't just, you know, taint one of my favorite horror movie franchises and pretending like it's 3 weeks ago before we heard all the awful Scream news, just looking at it as someone who liked Thanksgiving, oh, I'm kind of hyped. I'm excited. I like what Eli Roth did with the first Thanksgiving movie. Although it didn't do anything to like groundbreak change the slasher genre, all the things I love about slasher movies were present in Thanksgiving, from the gory, bloody kills to the fun but dumb characters, the amount of people that survive, a twist about who's behind the mask. Like, this is a movie where, yes, I want 10 to 11 sequels of. So yeah, as a horror fan and the guy who really enjoyed that movie, I'm like, yeah, I want to see more of that. That ending that they had set up a sequel, but we didn't know if the box office would warrant it. Now I'm excited they're going to deliver on another movie. But getting on to the things where I understand why people are boycotting it and are just not looking forward to it, because Spyglass just left a lot of us with a dirty taste in our mouths, and it's hard to want to support them in anything. I've already seen a ton of people online saying that, yeah, they're not going to see this movie because of what they did to Scream and Melissa Barrera, and they're going to boycott the film. And, you know, everybody's in their power to do that. I'm not here to tell you whether you should or even feel bad if you're excited for Thanksgiving too. It's honestly a super sticky situation, and I just hope fans aren't really attacking each other for what side they decide to be on. But right now, I can't lie, I feel a little hesitant to want to like jump up that high because I don't like Spyglass right now. Still though, curious to see where you guys fall. If you put aside the drama and everything going on, you hyped for Thanksgiving too? And you know what? This segues us nicely into this next little update concerning Scream 7 that really doesn't have anything to do with the movie. While we're still wondering what Scream 7 is going to even end up looking like, a report did come out of over 1,300 actors and artists in Hollywood who have signed a letter condemning what they call censorship against speaking out on Palestine from the recent firing of Melissa Barrera in Scream 7. This honestly makes me feel really good because one of the things that was not sitting right with me when Melissa Barrera was fired is that no one stood by her side or was trying to defend her. Everybody remained quiet because they didn't want to end up like her. It's a scary thing to just say honestly how you feel about something like not wanting people to die and for a ceasefire, which crazy to think that's a controversial statement. It is good to know there are a lot of celebrities out there that are willing to risk their careers they've worked hard on to stand side by side with Melissa Barrera and other people who have recently been fired just for being honest on their opinion. We'll see what, if any, changes are made here, but you know, it's still nice to see other people come together. Moving on here, kind of a little interesting story I saw develop that I for sure wanted to share with you guys and get your take on it. So if you didn't know, Jake Gyllenhaal just recently filmed a remake of the movie Roadhouse. Originally starred Patrick Swayze. It's kind of a really cool movie. It's one of those 80s throwback, super macho, before Hollywood went woke movies.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
Oh yeah, baby, that's what I've been fighting for. Give me more of that man-on-man action. Screw that Furiosa movie, women. Joking aside, though, Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors in Hollywood, so anytime he has a movie coming up, I want to see it. And if it's a remake of an 80s classic, yeah, I'm gonna check it out. And it was said to be releasing on Amazon, but now Jake Gyllenhaal's a little pissed. In a report here by Puck, it says Jake Gyllenhaal and Doug Liman were so pissed Amazon won't give Roadhouse Remake a theatrical release that they got Jeff Bezos to screen the film on his yacht to convince him. The film is still going to streaming. So essentially, this Roadhouse remake that Jake Gyllenhaal worked hard on, he's kind of mad it's gonna go straight to streaming instead of theaters. Other details in the article said that they already tested it with audience and they got positive reviews and scores, and they were so faithful in the movie they thought the CEO, you know, Jeff Bezos, watching the movie would have him change his mind on it, but no, it's still just going to end up on streaming. That does make me a little sad because Amazon was one of those rare studios that did like to release movies in theaters and still put them on their streaming service. So it kind of makes me wonder why they didn't want to do that with this film. I guess maybe there's just a financial part that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's also just kind of like, man, just release the movie. You're going to piss off Jake Gyllenhaal, one of the greatest actors in Hollywood? You don't want him on your bad side. But this also feels like something that should have been like in the contracts or in discussions way before cameras started rolling and talent was signed on, don't you think? Like, yeah, we'll do this movie, but you gotta promise us it'll go to theaters, not, you know, a wait and see later on. But this is what I throw off to you guys. The new Jake Gyllenhaal movie, he's pissed it's gonna go straight to streaming. Do you think the actor and director should have a say in whether it gets a theatrical or streaming release? And well, speaking of Amazon Studios, we do have an update on the Coyote versus ACME situation. Now, I do want to say, take this with a grain of salt. The source is coming from Dex Moy, which has gotten stuff right in the past. They randomly sometimes pop up and reveal some movie news, and then the things end up being right, but they're not usually like a go-to movie source. It's a lot of like gossip stuff usually. But here they were sent some information that the movie Coyote vs. ACME that at one point was supposed to be written off for tax purposes, same as Batgirl, but then we heard because of the found outcry, it got saved and they're going to sell the movie to a buyer. They're claiming here that Amazon is the ones that ended up buying the movie and will be releasing it Christmas Day on their streaming service, and that they also have plans to want to buy a lot of the Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera content for their streaming service. Okay, we had heard that somebody was going to buy the rights to Coyote vs. ACME, and I was hoping it was Amazon, and the reason I was hoping it was Amazon is because they've been known to still release their streaming movies in theaters, but after the last story we just talked about, looks like that hope is lost. I guess in a world of beggars can't be choosers, it's either, you know, get this movie written off for tax purposes, erased from existence, never to be seen, or have it be released, just not in a movie theater and on streaming service with Amazon, well, I'm gonna take the option where I at least get to see this movie. And if the news is true, it's kind of crazy that they would release it that soon. I mean, that's like 25 days. That means they gotta drop a trailer like within the next couple of days, but it's also smart because it was just recently talked about. It was all over the news. People were uproaring. If you buy it now and then release it, maybe like 6-7 months later, movie news times, that's like ancient history. It's like, oh, the Coyote vs. ACME movie. So maybe it's kind of smart that they release it now while it's still fresh in a lot of people's minds. And you know what? I would consider it Amazon's present to me for Christmas if they're releasing it on Christmas Day. But like I said, for now, this is just a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. We'll see in the coming days. Like, we'll know within a week whether they did or not, because they got to release a trailer and start marketing it somehow. Let me know what you guys think about Amazon possibly being the ones who bought Coyote vs. ACME. Moving on from there, we got an update concerning the live-action Minecraft movie. We knew once the Hollywood strike was over, this is one of those films that they wanted to put into high gear to finally get made. And here, Deadline is reporting a couple of new cast members. It says here, Minecraft Warner Bros. Movie adds Danielle Brooks and Sebastian Eugene Hansen. These are now two actors that'll be joining alongside Jason Momoa in the live-action Minecraft movie. We don't have any details really about what their characters are, but we do know their names. It says here, Brooks will play the role of Dawn, while Hansen will play the role of Henry. Just looking at them, I gotta assume Henry is the Minecraft kid, He's gonna represent all those kids right now who are heavy on Minecraft and probably get sucked into the Minecraft world. While Jason Momoa and Brooks, I don't know, maybe try to get him out of that Minecraft world. We still just don't have any idea. The only thing that's really making me hyped about the Minecraft movie, because sorry to break it to you guys, I was never a Minecraft kid, kind of a little bit past my time. I know, I played RuneScape. Does that count? But the thing that is making me look forward to the movie is director Jared Hess. This is the man who brought us Napoleon Dynamite and the iconic masterpiece Nacho Libre. The humor of the Minecraft movie is about to be next top level meme amazing, and that's what I'm excited for. But you see, these people have been added on to the Minecraft movie. Does that get you excited? Bringing us here to some updates concerning Spider-Man 4. Feels like we've just been talking about it a lot the past couple of weeks, and well, for good reason. We want an update on this, man. What's going on, Sony and Kevin Feige? Well, recently Tom Holland was doing an interview and gave us an interesting insight into what's going on with Spider-Man 4, and the comments seem a little different than the last time he talked about the movie. He says here, all I can say is that we have been actively engaging in conversations about what it could potentially look like for a fourth rendition of my character. Whether or not we can find a way to do justice to the character is another thing. I feel very protective over Spider-Man. I feel very, very lucky that we were able to work on a franchise that got better with each movie and got more successful with each movie, which I think is really rare, and I want to protect his legacy, so I won't make another one for the sake of making another one. It will have to be worth the while of the character. And the reason I found that statement kind of interesting, and it felt like Tom Holland changed his tune a little bit, is because a year ago, he gave us an update on Spider-Man 4 and what the story and kind of things we're working on, and he sounded a lot more positive. This was his comments a year ago. He said, "It was myself, Amy, Kevin Feige, Rachel, sometimes other executives from Marvel will sit in." He says, "It's a collaborative process. The first few meetings were about why would we do this again, and I think we really found the reason why. I'm really happy with where we're at in terms of the creativity." So a year ago, when we were hearing all these rumors about what the Spider-Man 4 story could look like, Tom Holland was sounding very happy with the creative process. And then most recently, I gave you guys an update where Scooper mentioned Sony and the creative team have changed their minds on what they want Spider-Man 4 to be. We're hearing rumors that it's not going to be so much of a grounded story, that it might not be a street-level Spider-Man story, that it might involve the multiverse again. It'll be a setup for Avengers Kang Dynasty or one of those Avenger movies, and that Sony really wants to include one of their spin-off characters into that film. And now we're getting comments of Tom Holland going, yeah, we're talking about it, but I'm not going to do it unless this movie's right, unless they do the character justice. We've had so much success. I don't want to ruin it. A year ago, he was happy with the movie. Now he's talking about, I don't want to do it unless it's right. Feels like something's changed, and even Tom Holland feels like it might not be the right direction to go. I could definitely be reaching here, pulling a Mr. Fantastic Four and looking too much into these lines, but It's Spider-Man. This is what I do. I live and breathe this character. He's on my Christmas tree. I just want this movie to be good, and I just desperately wanted a grounded, street-level, kind of MCU-separated Spider-Man movie. We're just focused on Peter Parker being Spider-Man. Let me know what you guys think about Tom Holland's statements and if you feel the change I do. But that is all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.